Mr. President, the Senate statement is basically wrong. It limits one of the most sacred of civic rights, the right of each and every citizen to be represented equally in the branch of the government that controls public affairs and appropriates their taxes. This right is more than old. It is the cornerstone of government. 300 years ago, John Locke, the great English teacher and scholar, argued that the soundness of government's acts depends on the consent of the government, consent given through the votes of the ruling body. According to Locke, a ruling body that does not stand in the place of and act on behalf of the people is an improper vehicle for conveying the consent of the governed. In spite of Locke's argument, the rotten borough, where the voters are not represented at all, continued to be a large part of the English voting system until the 19th century. In fact, reform of the rotten borough is a main theme that runs through modern English legal history. Some of the greatest names in English history are coupled with efforts for reform. The English experience holds great meaning for us today. For while there were many famed and well-known statesmen who fought to reform of the rotten boroughs, and there were some who defended the rotten borough on the grounds of custom and self-interest, yet no one of civic note or fame ever spoke for the changing of places where the voters are represented into rotten boroughs. This, Mr. President, is precisely what the present statement may do. There is nothing in the present statement requiring poorly divided state bodies to divide themselves fairly before acting on the substance of the statement. We will seldom be called on to decide a more basic issue in this Senate. We meet at a time when local drive and local action are the keys to success of many of our great new programs. They require the best of our state governments and the most able officials. Such programs and such men will come from model governments prepared to deal with the truths of the 20th century. If adopted, this statement would greatly modify the time-honored legal guarantee not to be denied the right to be represented. If this statement leads to an amendment of the basic laws of this country, it will be the first amendment ever added to our Constitution that would, in large part, infringe upon the basic rights of the people of this country. At a time when the Congress has been working to extend and protect the legal rights of all the citizens of our country, I see no logic or reason in amending the basic laws of the United States so that the votes of some people will be worth more than the votes of other people. I have said that the right of everyone to be equally represented is for our citizens, a time-honored legal right of very long standing. In the beginning of our country, the Congress was without a doubt acting or standing for the people more than the British Parliament. In the course of our nation's history, the concept of someone acting or standing for the people in the government came to be the basic right of each man, the right on which all other rights depended. John Adams believed that the people acting on behalf of the citizens should be an exact portrait on a small scale of the people at large. It should think, feel, reason, and act like them. It should be they. There has been a real trend toward having both houses of a state ruling body divided according to the number of people in each county or district. By 1830, nearly all barriers to a one-man, one-vote policy had dissolved before the concept of civic balance. After the adoption of the Constitution, only 4 states entered the Union with very great change from the one-man, one-vote policy in either house of the state ruling body.